Alright, today I'm going to be reacting to The Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd. This is their first album. It came out in 1967, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see where the band started here. I was actually planning on doing The Wall today, but I figured I should kind of listen to some other albums from them and get a better view of their entire discography before I jump into The Wall, because I know that is a very critically acclaimed and important album, not only for Pink Floyd, but for music as a whole. So I'll definitely still be doing that at some point, but yeah, we're jumping into this record here from 1967. I don't really know too much about it. Other than that, I will say I'm kind of a bigger fan of Pink Floyd's, I would say, lesser known work. Like I like Animals quite a bit, and I like Metal. I think those are my two favorites from them. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. There's a link in the description down below. And we're gonna hop into the first track, which is Astronomy Domine? Astronomy Domine? Oh. Oh. Great intro. I mean, very psychedelic. You can definitely feel it's a bit more raw, not as like polished as their later stuff. Some nice panic going on. I feel like I gotta close my eyes and float along to this. First track here, very psychedelic. I feel like that's kind of obvious to say. This does feel a little bit more raw and not as polished as they would get on later albums. But yeah, very trippy start here. Feels a lot like the cover. And kind of Magical Mystery Tour-esque. When did that come out? Magical Mystery Tour? I think it might have been 67 too. 67 or 68. Yeah, it was 67. Same year. This is really, I guess, when, you know, psychedelics maybe were the rage. Actually, it looks like this came out like a couple months before Magical Mystery Tour. All right, next track, Lucifer Sam. Whoa. Hard pans. Whoa! Kind of a surf rock feel to this. Feels like something you'd see in like a Tarantino movie or something. Nice bass. Lots of like warping, reversed textures. Lots of like you. Drums sound so good. Love where they're sitting in the mix. Cool. Even more of a kind of rough psychedelic feel to that. That kind of reminded me of the Velvet Underground's debut, or not their debut, but the Banana album. You know, what year was that? That was 67. Wow, what all these albums in the same year, just kind of fully leaning into this psychedelic, you know, vibe. So it's like who started it? You know, were all of these bands and these albums just coming out the exact same year, or was there something before this that kickstarted all of this? I don't know. Let's keep going. Next track is Matilda Mother. Whoa, speaking of organ. This has a bit more of that classic Pink Floyd like pace to it, I feel like. That's very Beatles. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Hard cut. Beautiful. Those harmonies. I think that's my favorite so far. It felt like the most like immersive atmosphere out of any of these tracks. Everything just felt super cohesive and intentional. I was just thinking, like, this must have been such an exciting year for music when, like, being alive in 67, you just have, like, all this crazy, brand new, psychedelic, trippy-ass music coming out. Must have been, like, just an absolutely crazy time. You know, it's also making me think. I know, like, King Crimson isn't necessarily, like, psychedelic rock. It's more prog rock. Oh, okay. In the Court of the Crimson King was 69. Okay. I just wanted to see because I was thinking maybe that album was 67 too, but 2 years later. Yeah, that was my favorite. That was great. Next track is Flaming. I also do realize I am killing the flow of an album like this when I stop the tracks. So maybe I'll try and just let them kind of roll into each other from now on. Lying on an eiderdown, blazing in the foggy view, sitting on a unicorn, watching buttercups come to light, sleeping on a dandelion. Too much, I won't touch you, but then clicky textures, the organ. Alone in the clouds all blue. Oh, that organ just brings so much color and brightness to this otherwise kind of eerie track. The lyrics here, kind of what you would expect with an album like this, kind of dealing in, you know, psychedelia, you know, being in the clouds. I guess the language with these lyrics is very important. It needs to be evocative. It needs to be colorful. And it's really hard to strike that balance without feeling like, or it's hard, not that balance. It's hard to get to that without feeling corny or like pretentious or self-important, you know, but I feel like this is kind of doing that well so far. It doesn't feel like it's like those things that I just said. It doesn't feel pretentious or anything. Yeah, I like, to be honest, this isn't like really impacting me emotionally that much, but it is just very interesting to see Pink Floyd at this stage of their career, their first album, where it's very honestly more challenging and more colorful than like some of their later stuff. Now I think like Dark Side of the Moon takes these ideas that we've heard so far and makes them feel a little bit more impactful and refined, I guess, and like polished, which could be a bad thing for some people, could be a good thing for some people, depending on what you're looking for. But yeah, it's interesting to hear the kind of more raw version of that. Pow R, Toc? I don't know. Oh, instrumental. Okay. Genius says instrumental and screams. Okay. I'm excited. What are these screams gonna be? Oh, there you go. There's the screams. Oh, we're fully in it. We're fully in it right now. We're on another world. Meaning the band is on another world right now. Oh, bluesy piano. Very, like, interesting how stripped back this is. Whoa! These huge drums, man. Crazy. Wow. I'm loving the organ on this album. Brings such like a grounding presence to it. Let's keep going. Could you imagine hearing that in 1967? Man. Oh, more mouth sounds. Love these lyrics. Gruel, ghoul, greasy spoon. Oh. Kind of reminds me of the Doors here. This organ. Dude, that Doors album was 1967 too. What is happening in 1967? What the fuck? So many good albums. Love this bass. Oh. Oh! That's my favorite so far. That's such a banger, dude. Holy. The instrumental freakouts, the organ, oh, that was great. Such a busy track, but it still has that kind of psychedelic feel to it. What is going on in 1967? The Doors self-titled record came out this year too. Like, something was in the water, man. Let's keep going though. Next track is Interstellar Overdrive, a near 10-minute track. So let's see what this is. Oh, instrumental. There we go. Great guitar tone. Nice dirty, kind of dusty mix here. Nice fill. Whoa! Ta-da! Oh, it's still atmospheric, but it has a lot of bite to it with these harsh guitar tones. This is great. This is kind of like free jazz. It's so chaotic and it's just ever changing, and there's got to be a release at some point. I feel like it's coming. Oh, more of a subtle release than I was expecting. Hey, we're building the tension. My heart rate's increasing. Where are we going? Whoa. Oh, I just got chills. Oh, what is this clicking? What is happening? I'm not even high and this is tripping me out like crazy. They're cooking on this, bro. They're cooking. No. Oh. This is sick. What the? Dude, that like panning technique that they're doing is so interesting. Because it's like panning, but it's also like it isolates certain parts of the sound spectrum and it takes certain parts out. That was fantastic. Let's keep going. Oh my god. That was so awesome, dude. Holy.
I want to tell you a story about a little man, if I can.
Sure, go for it.
Grimble, grumble, and little gnomes stay in their homes.
The vocal mixing here.
Drinking their
So up front in the mix.
and then one day, hooray, another way for gnomes to say. Look at the sky, look at the river, listen to
Whispering, bro?
and then one day, hooray.
I love the contrast of this track compared to the last one where there was no vocals and now they're so prominent in this track. Really great, like, track listing decision. I am loving this. Let's keep going. I don't want to kill the flow, though. Chapter 24.
The movement is accomplished in 6 stages.
Whoa. What an opening line. All movement is accomplished in 6 stages. That bass. That voice crack? Wow.
And the seventh brings return.
Like this, this being a band's first album is insane, dude. How do you just come out of the gates with this? You can hear the track clipping, dude. Let's go. Oh, unbelievable, man. Love the how the vocals were treated on these past two tracks, like in comparison to Interstellar Overdrive. This is great. I'm loving this. Let's keep going. It feels so authentic to them. It's so just, there's no boundaries here. It doesn't need to feel polished or anything. Let's just get the ideas out, you know? I'm talking like I'm in the band now. I don't know why.
The black and green scarecrow, as everyone knows, stood with a bird on his hat and straw everywhere, he didn't care. His head did no thinking, his arms didn't move, except when the wind cut up rough and mice ran around on the ground. He stood in a field where barley grows, where barley grows.
Wow. Cello. I feel like they're balancing these like more traditional kind of straightforward songs with atmospheric moments and psychedelic moments, and they're striking that balance so well, man. I think I prefer this sound more than like, I just like this more raw sound compared to something like Dark Side of the Moon or even Wish You Were Here. I do like Animals a lot, but I would have to go back to that. It's been a while since I listened to it. I can't remember if it's more like polished sounding than this, but like Metal too I loved that album, man. And that was not as like gritty as this album, but still I think there's something about these early Floyd albums so far, at least the ones that I've heard, that are just connecting with me a little bit more. They feel a bit more unfiltered and truthful and authentic to the band. Yeah, let's keep going. Last track is Bike.
I've got a bike, you can ride it if you like. It's got a basket, a bell and rings and things to make it look good. You're the kind of girl that fits in with my world. I'll give you anything, everything if you want things. I've got a cloak, it's a bit of a joke. There's a tear up the front, it's red and black, I've had it for months.
I don't want to see you in that cloak, I'm sorry. With a tear in the front?
He's getting rather old, but he's a good mouse. You're the kind of girl that fits in with my world. I'll give you anything, everything if you want things.
Love that.
Gingerbread man, take a couple of
Piano?
wish there on the dish. I'll give you anything, everything if you want things.
Ooh, halftime. What a haunting little, weird little track. We still got some time though. Minute and a half. Oh my. The ripping of the bike gears and... Oh. See, this is way more interesting than like something like Time off Dark Side of the Moon. Come on. This sounds so much better. That ending. Okay, let me play Time for comparison. Time off of Dark Side of the Moon. Maybe I'll put my foot in my mouth. Maybe I'll change my opinion. Actually, okay, no, this is pretty sick too.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day.
Okay, I take back what I said. That's, yeah. Maybe I just gotta, you know, I've changed a lot as a listener since I first listened to this album, and just as a person in general. So I definitely have to go back to like Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here and give them like a proper re-listen before I start like dissing those albums. But yeah, back to Piper at the Gates of Dawn here. What a crazy ending there. Again, this album feels a little bit more raw, but it is cool to see that the band had this kind of identity like right from the start. You know, it's not like I feel like oftentimes with bands, they take a while to stumble into their sound, but feels like they had it right out of the gates. Like even the Beatles, like their first like 5 albums, sure, there's some good stuff on there, but really not at the same level as they would get to with stuff like Rubber Soul or Revolver. Yeah, this is a little bit more raw. It feels a little bit less polished. Maybe the songwriting isn't as memorable, but I just love the colorful ideas here. It feels a little bit more unfiltered and fun and wild and off the wall and youthful. And yeah, I just like even like technically speaking, the mixes here and just the textures of the instruments are a little bit more gritty and dirty. But yeah, that was great. After like Interstellar Overdrive, I really locked into this album. Like I was enjoying it before that, but that long psychedelic track really kind of hooked me and made me appreciate the 4 tracks after it, I feel like, more than I would have if that track wasn't there. So I am slowly starting to get more into this band. Again, when I first listened to them, I kind of had this, like, I don't even know what my mindset was going into it, but it just didn't click with me. But now, again, I feel like I've changed as, you know, as cheesy as this sounds, as a person and as a listener, and I can, you know, really actually appreciate what's going on here because I feel like I have a broader and, you know, more kind of deeper understanding of music as a whole and the context of when this came out and everything coming out, you know, around it. And basically what I'm trying to say is I was an idiot in the past, and, you know, my opinions on Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here were kind of dumb and kind of like me just trying to have a different opinion to seem cool. Those are my thoughts on Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd. I'm going to be doing more, of course. I'm going to be doing The Wall at some point. Maybe I should just revisit those 2 albums that I'm talking about too. Maybe I should do a video on that. And yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. There's a link in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.